solar winds.
Yeah.
I remember that in grade school, but it's somewhere.
You taught that in grade school? I don't know.
I think so.
It's actually kind of timely because the solar winds, which carry all that high energy particulate matter, that's what brings us our aurora borealis. We've been talking about that the last couple of days, right?
Maybe that's where I heard it. It wasn't grade school.
Yeah, I don't think it was
like
grade school. I was about to
yesterday.
say, I don't know what you were learning in grade school, but hey, the Texas education was probably different than the California one. So maybe you got
I'm sure it was brought up at some point. I'm not thinking in like great detail, but I'm sure it was brought up at some point, right? All right, let's go ahead and talk about our weather here on Earth. So yeah, again, one of those things you don't think about. You got to know how that stuff interacts if you're going to send humans up to space. You know, is it dangerous or not? So another step towards getting us a little further away from our home planet here. 83 today, started off at 57. Want to talk about this. So we were 13 degrees above the average for today. That's not the only important detail about today's average. Today's average high, 70 degrees. Why is that a big deal? Because it's the last day of the year that our average is at 70 or above. As a matter of fact, by tomorrow, our average highs drop into the 60s. So again, this is where you'd think we would be, right? So the way averages work is this. They work on 30-year rolling averages, for lack of a better word. We take basically this day's high temperature over the last 30 years, add it all up, divide by 30. That's how we get an average. And we always say, yeah, that's kind of what we should expect for a given time of the year. Obviously, today we were at 83, so again, it doesn't always tell the whole truth, but 69 for tomorrow. Coolest average highs we hit here in Central Texas, 58, and that's from December 28th through January 11th. So again, our average highs don't ever get that chilly, but understand, we could be in the 30s at times. Again, that's the thing with averages, right? They're not always going to tell you the whole truth. So when do we get those averages back to 70? Well, that's not going to happen until March 14th. And when do we return to the 80s? That's not until the end of April. So when I say that today's highs were very April-like, that's not an exaggeration. That's when we're supposed to be back into the 80s. 66 right now in Gatesville, 63 in Lampasas, 68 right now in Centerville. So it's a little bit more mild tonight. Winds, again, still out of the southeast, bringing that moisture in. You can see a few spots with sustained winds of 10 to 15 miles per hour. But again, we'll keep that in the forecast tonight and really over the next few days. So we're going to keep this number up too, that relative humidity. And because of that, once again, we could be talking about a foggy start to your day. So again, add a little extra time tomorrow morning. You can see it's already coming in by about 4 a.m. and by your morning commute, some areas down to 2 miles of visibility, maybe a little bit less than that. So keep that in mind, add that extra time, and don't turn on your brights. 62, 63 by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, mid 80s again for tomorrow afternoon, and that's going to last into the weekend. In fact, by Sunday, we could be talking temperatures close to 90, close to records for this time of the year. So when are those changes going to get here? Well, obviously it's not the weekend, but as we get towards the middle of next week, Tuesday, that's when we start to see those rain chances start to kick in. But the even better storm chances, yeah, those are going to hold off until Wednesday, Thursday, that time frame. So again, keep that in mind. We could not just be talking about rain, but also some thunderstorms possible as well. Again, as far as severity, rain totals, things like that, we still got a long way to go before we get to next Wednesday, next Thursday. So again, those are some details we're still going to have to iron out. Just stay with us through the weekend, early next week, and we'll be talking a little bit more about what we can expect if some of those storms could be on the severe side, and of course all those other details as we get closer. Again, 80s the next several days, but then as the rain and cloud cover moves in, temperatures come down a little bit, back closer to our averages by the time we get to the end of next week. And remember, to keep up with all this, you can download our 6 Plus app. It's free. It's on your smart TV.